Morning, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. I can hear that for sure. I want to welcome you all to Chemistry 108, first day of class. I'm glad to see so many of you here. I think this is the largest class we've ever had for Chem 108. So, congratulations. And I think by about at least 5 or 6 students. So it's a good, healthy increase in interest in the chemistry and biochemistry majors. So, appreciate that. So let's start off with some introductions. I'm Dr. Doug Masterson. I'm an organic chemist by training. I do organic chemistry research, still active in the unit, but I am mostly an administrator these days. I'm a senior associate provost. You all don't need to know what that means, at least at this point. But what that means for you all that's important is that my office isn't in this building like most chemists or the biochemists across the street. My office is actually in the International Center, Suite 517. Does everybody know where the International Center is? Okay, so it's over by the Baptist Student Union, so if you ever need to come by and talk with me, please feel free to do so. I have an open door policy. If my door is open and you're around and you want us to come in and talk, feel free to come in. I may say, give me a moment or whatever. I will have office hours. I'll talk to you about those in just a moment. But if you want to make sure that you can get a meeting with me, please email me, douglas.masterson@usm.edu. I'll try to respond within a few hours and set up a meeting with you. One of the things, if you're ever trying to set up a meeting with any of your professors, the best thing to do is not to email them and say, I'd like to have a meeting with you. What works for you? Send them an email, say, I'd like to set up a meeting, and here's some of the times that I have available so that the professor can pick one. That avoids a couple of emails back and forth. So when you email me, if you'll give me a few options of days, times that you can meet, I'll try to find one that fits my schedule and reply with a calendar invitation. You can also reach me by phone. I still have yet to ever have a student call me by phone, but you can if you want to. On campus, my campus phone is 601-266-4714. So now you know a little bit about me. Now I want to know a little bit about you. So we'll go around the room. If you'll tell me your name, which major in chemistry you are, and maybe just a little something about yourself. We'll start here.
My name is Muna.
Muna?
Yes, my major is chemistry with the concentration in biochemistry.
Okay.
What happened?
Just a little something about yourself.
I'm pregnant.
Okay.
I'm Nishrenika. I'm double majoring biology and chemistry. I definitely like biology more.
Well, we might change that.
I'm Peyton. My major is biochemistry with a minor in dance, and I'm in pre-pharmacy.
Okay. Minor in dance. So that's an interesting one. I don't think we've ever had that before.
My name is Michaela. My major is biomedical science, and I have a minor in chemistry, and I'm a senior.
Okay.
My name is Darian. I have a major in biochemistry and a minor in biology.
Okay.
My name is Dylan. I have a major in biochemistry, and I like to be outside.
Okay. Yeah. Except when it's 105, right?
Yeah.
My name is Chloe. I'm a biochemistry major, and I'm currently on pre-med, but we'll see.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Ronnie Anderson. I'm majoring in biochemistry, and I'm from Slidell, Louisiana.
My name is Tanella Monroe. I'm majoring in chemistry, but I'm doing a minor in forensic science.
My name is Tylee. Biochemistry major and a minor in black studies.
Okay.
My name is Jacob, biochem and Palmer major.
And? Okay. So double major. Okay.
My name is Hannah. I'm majoring in chemistry with the ACS. And I moved here from Iowa.
Iowa. Wow. Welcome down here.
My name is Shannon. My major is biochemistry, and I hate slime.
You hate slime?
It's disgusting.
My name is Johnny Ham. Be majoring in biochemistry, and I play trombone for 8 years.
Are you in the band here?
No.
Okay.
My name is Marina, I'm majoring in chemistry and I play for.
Okay. Are you in the band here? Okay. So the Pride marching band?
Yes, sir.
I'm Natalie, I'm majoring in biochemistry and I'm also in pre-pharmacy route.
Okay.
I'm Destiny, I'm a biochemistry major and I'm also a pre-major.
Okay.
I'm Brooke, I'm a biochem major, and I am dental assistant.
Okay.
I'm Landon, I'm a biochemistry major, and I am pre-grad school for teaching.
Okay.
My name is Grayson, my major is chemistry, and I like
You like
the color yellow.
the color yellow?
My name is Abigail, I'm a biochemistry major and I'm a powerlifter.
Oh, okay.
My name is Catherine, I'm a biochemistry major, and I'm also doing pre-med.
Okay.
My name is Taylor, I'm a biochemistry major and I'm on pre-pharmacy.
Pre-pharmacy? Okay.
My name is Kyler, I'm a biochem major, and I'm pre-pharmacy. My name is Tori, I'm a biochem major, and I'm a licensed pharmacy technician.
Okay.
My name is Jackson. I'm a biochem major and I'm pre-med.
Okay.
My name is Whitney, I'm a biochemistry major and I'm from England, South Carolina.
From South Carolina. What are you doing here?
My name is Drew. I'm a chemistry major, and this will be my second bachelor's degree.
Okay, so you're a post-bac. Welcome back.
My name is Kayla, I'm a biochemistry major and this is my 8th year in choir.
Okay.
My name is Alana, I am a chemistry major with a biochemistry concentration, and I'm a student athlete.
What sport?
Track and field.
Track and field. What do you run? That's okay. You don't have to.
I'm Jacob. I'm a biochemistry major and I'm on the pre-med route.
Okay.
I'm Sophia, I'm a biochem major. I currently have been a funeral assistant for 20 years.
Okay.
I'm a biochemistry major and I'm a bachelor of biomedical science.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your name clear in your throat. What was your name? Lily.
I'm Erie, I'm a biochemistry major, and my favorite author is Stephen King.
Stephen King. All right.
I am Olivia Jones, I am a biochemistry major and I like animals.
You like animals? Any particular one?
No, I like all.
You like all animals, okay. And then back to here.
I'm Elisha, I'm a biochemistry pre-med major and I have been in choir for 9 years.
Okay, and your name was?
Elisha.
Elijah. You're welcome. All right. So now that we know each other just a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little dirty secret about myself. I will remember your face. I will see you on campus and I'll know you're one of my students, but I will not remember your name. It's just something that I really struggle with. I usually have lunch over in the Fresh, so if you see me over there and I talk to you and I can't remember your name, please don't be offended. Just remind me your name. It's just one of those things about me. I'm really good with faces. I'm really bad with names. In fact, it's a running joke in my family. My oldest daughter is Johanna. My youngest daughter is Brianna, and then I get them confused all the time. So, in terms of their name, so it's just one of the little things that make me tick the way that I do, I guess. And so, please don't be offended by that if I can't remember your name. Just refresh my memory, and the more I get to interact with you, the more likely I will remember your name. But, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, this class only meets once a week. So I don't get as much time to spend with you all as I do when I'm teaching other classes. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the syllabus. The syllabus is in Canvas. You all should have already been in Canvas and looked there. This is the course description from the bulletin. This class is to give you an introduction to higher education for students in chemistry and biochemistry, including the use of university resources for academic success, resume development, and career strategy. So you're going to get a broad array of things to take with you from this class. We will talk very little about actual chemical reactions or anything like that. We will talk a little bit about some of the history of chemistry. I think there's some other things that you need to get out of a science curriculum that has lacked in the last several decades. Can anybody tell me probably what that is? Want to take a stab at it?
So what's the question?
Huh?
What's the question?
What might be absent from normal science curricula that you need to know about?
Actual lab work.
Okay, well, you're going to get a lot of actual lab work in this major. You're going to have lab work in each, pretty much so each one of your classes is going to have an associated lab with it. And then we also require research laboratory experience for your capstone. So you'll definitely get a lot of that.
I think I never did enough like history.
Okay, that's very good. So where are we at today and what helped us get here, right? And so we're going to try to cover some of that in this class. I can't cover it all. I'm not a historian by trade. But we are going to talk about some of the things. The Nobel Prize will be awarded in the next few weeks. We'll talk, when that comes out, we'll talk about, who won the Nobel Prize. I don't even know who's going to win the Nobel Prize yet, but we'll talk about that and why that contribution was meritorious of a Nobel Prize. We'll talk about that type of history. But also we're going to talk a little bit about the scientific method. That's what makes science science. That's what makes science science. And you might go into some other areas and they'll put science in their title, but if you're not using the scientific method, science it is not. Okay? And so I want you to leave this class, whether you stay a chemistry major or a biochemistry major, whether you change and become an artist, whatever the case may be for you for your future, I want you to be an informed citizen in terms of what it means to live in a world that is largely run by science these days. I want you to have a good baloney detector. Social media, the news, politicians, they feed you a line of crap most of the time, right? And they all have agendas. We all have agendas. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the scientific method is a good baloney detector, okay? And that's where I think a lot of people are lacking in their education in high school and even in introductory college classes. You're going to find when you go to your Gen Chem class the first day, when you go to your mathematics class the first day, the English class, they're going to start feeding you a bunch of facts. There's nothing wrong with that. You all need to know some facts. But you can largely find facts very quickly today. Google, whatever you're using, you can find facts really quick. But how you process those, how you turn those into things, how you detect the baloney that's there in what's being presented to you, that's very, very important. And I take that very, very seriously. And so I hope this class can help to some degree with that. So there are some course objectives that this class hopes to achieve with you. Okay? I want you to understand the impact of the chemical sciences on modern society. Chemistry, biochemistry, analytical chemistry, organic chemistry, whatever flavor of chemistry you want, okay, has had an enormous impact on modern society. More so, in my humble opinion, than any other area of study. For good and for bad. I'm not saying that everything that chemists have ever done has been roses and violets and everything else and just hunky-dory. There are things that have come to society that are good out of chemistry, modern medicines, longevity of life, okay? But then there are some downsides. Environmental issues. You can name a bunch of other things as well, right? But the chemical sciences has had an enormous impact on the way that we live today, okay? So how are we going to achieve that in this course? We will have readings every week. I will pick some stuff from the normal chemical literature. You're going to start getting into professional documentation, not textbook stuff, but stuff that's being presented in the professional society called the American Chemical Society. I'm not requiring you to join and get the journals and all that stuff. I will put that kind of information in Canvas. Those will be your reading assignments, okay? And so we'll have different things that, as you read through them and we talk about them in class, at the end of the semester, you should have an understanding of, hey, this thing that we call chemistry has really had impacts in these areas recently and over time. So that's really what I'm trying to get there. You're also going to understand some learning strategies and how they can be utilized to master course material. Okay? I'm not suggesting I'm an expert at this, but I'm probably as good as anybody else. You all have come to us from a school system that may or may not have prepared you to learn properly. A lot of education is, again, here's a bunch of facts. Go memorize these facts and regurgitate them on the exam. That is not what higher education should be. Higher education is the thing that remains after you've forgotten all of the facts. It's the thing that's going to stick with you. Okay? I forget all kinds of facts that I learned in school, but the way and how to think, especially through the scientific method, very, very important. Okay? So how are we going to achieve that in this course? We're going to talk about learning strategies. We're going to talk about ways in which we can engage ourselves to better understand the material that we are learning. Chemistry is not a discipline where it is simply, do you know this from the periodic table? Do you know how to balance that equation? Okay? You're going to have to know how to do those things, but real chemistry is about, here's a problem and how can we solve it? How can we work backwards from that problem and find a solution? And so that's one of the reasons why I always think that chemistry and biochemistry students do so well in medical school. If you think about it as a physician, one of these days when you're a physician, for those of you going on to medical school, you will have a patient come to you with a problem. And you will have to think backwards to what caused that problem to prescribe something to try to solve it. That's the scientific method. Okay? And so you're going to learn a lot of that throughout your studies here in this major. Okay? You're also going to understand the scope of career options available to individuals with a chemistry degree. Not all chemistry majors have to go to graduate school. Not all chemistry majors have to be practicing chemists. Not all chemistry majors have to go on and go to medical school. There are a lot of what we call non-traditional career paths for chemists. One of the reasons why I think I'm in my administrative role is because of the skills that I have as a chemist. I'm able to look at a problem and work backwards and solve what that is. Okay? These types of skills will serve you very well, regardless of the career path you choose. Okay? But there are a lot of career options for you. I think chemistry is one of the most versatile in terms of career options. I know people who have come here and graduated and went on and got a job in the wood and paper industry right out of college. Worked for oil companies right out of college. Went to graduate school, did the whole thing like I did. Went to law school, became patent lawyers. I've had some students that have gotten their chemistry degree and they said, you know what, I really hate the lab work, but I still like science, so I'm going to go get a master's in library and information science and I'm going to become an information specialist for a company. And so they work at some big pharmaceutical company. They never work in a laboratory, but they're finding information for the people that are developing the drugs. So there's all kinds of interesting career paths that are going to be at your disposal, and I'm going to help you figure out what those might be for you. Okay? So that's how we're going to achieve that in this course. And then you're going to learn how to utilize university resources. One of the things I want you all to remember, you all are paying tuition to be here. That tuition covers more than just you being in the classroom. You have access to a wide variety of resources. The easy ones that you all know right off the bat, right, are like the library, right? But there are other resources available on campus for you to take advantage of that are some that are academic, some that are less academic, okay? And we're going to talk about those as well. And so we're going to try to help you find ways to utilize those resources to enhance your success, okay? Any questions about that? Okay. All right. There are going to be some student products that you are going to leave this class with. Things in hand that are going to get you started. Okay? You're going to develop in this class your professional resume or curriculum vitae. Okay? Today is the first day of your professional career. You need to start thinking of yourselves as professional scientists, regardless of where you're going to end up. Okay? You're just junior at this point, right? You've got to work up through the thing. But you need to start with that curriculum vitae and that resume. It's going to be very important for you. You are going to face some situation in your 4 years here where somebody's going to tell you, I need to see your CV or your resume. It could be, hey, there's a scholarship opportunity. I need to apply for this. Okay, send us your CV or your resume. We'll see if you're a good fit for this scholarship. Well, if you have it on hand, it's real easy just to send it off, right? But if you don't, you have to sit down and you have to think about it. And so we're going to talk about how to develop a CV and resume for you, and you're going to leave with that product. You're going to end up with an individualized semester by semester guide. We're going to plot out in this class every course that you need to take from today until you finish and walk across the stage. Okay? Why are we going to do that when there's a semester by semester guide in the bulletin? We're going to do it because you all have unique situations. If you look at the semester by semester guide in the bulletin, it assumes you're going to start in Calculus 1. Not everybody's going to start in Calculus 1. It also assumes that every one of you are going to take 15 hours every semester. Some of you have jobs, some of you have other obligations, some of you are full-time, some of you are part-time. That's all going to be different. So we're going to build out a semester by semester guide for you that you can take to your advising session and say, this is what we've built out. This is kind of the starting point. Now, where do we need to go? But more importantly, I want you to have that individualized semester by semester guide because it's going to force you to think about what it is that you're going to be doing in the future. And it's going to force you to understand, if I mess up here, how does that impact me out here? Right? A lot of our courses are prerequisites to other courses. So if I mess up, if I don't do well here, that's going to impact 2 or 3 things down the line. Okay? So it kind of helps you get an understanding better of how our curriculum is threaded together. You're going to get some personalized learning strategies that you're going to figure out work for you, so that hopefully when you leave your classes, you'll be in in your classes, you'll be in a better place to absorb everything that you need to and learn as much as you can. We're also going to talk a little bit about professional web presence. This was not an issue when I was in your shoes. There was no Facebook yet when I was in college. The internet was just new and coming out. You know, there was no Google yet. Email was an exciting thing when I was in college. Okay? Very different situations today. People will look at your professional web. When you apply for a scholarship, I guarantee you the donors of that scholarship are going out and looking at your professional web presence. They're giving you money and they want that money to be spent well, right? And so people, and whether it's fair or not is irrelevant. This is, anything you put out in the public sphere is fair game. So to have you start thinking about how do I want to present myself professionally on the web needs to start today, right? So there's going to be a lot of professional development in this. And I also want to point out, you had a reading assignment for today, this thing from Psychology Today. So I picked this up and I've been using it for a couple of years. Hope is not a plan. Every one of you have hopes and dreams and desires in here right now, and that's a great thing. But that is not enough to achieve those things. You have to have a plan. That's part of the curriculum vitae. That's part of the individualized semester by semester guide. It's those learning strategies. It's the professional web presence. You have to start building your plan for success. Success does not take care of itself. Everybody in here has hopes and dreams, right? Yeah. Now what's your plan to achieve them? Okay? And each one of your plans is going to be different. And that's okay. But I'm going to help you get there. Okay? But I want you to read that hope is not a plan. I am not dumping on hope and dreams. Everybody needs those, but that's the starting point. I want to help you achieve those hopes and dreams. Okay? So, let's talk a little bit about what it means to be successful in this class. This class is not designed to be a weed out class. This class is not designed to cause you a lot of pain and suffering. Okay? This class is designed to, if you participate, you're going to do well and you're going to leave with some good things. Okay? Attendance is a big part of the course grade. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to be taking attendance every class. Okay? I'm going to, now we will meet 15 weeks. Notice there are only 14 attendance assignments. I'm giving you one that doesn't count, right? So people get sick, people have things that pop up, I understand, right? You get one freebie. So it's 20 points for each attendance. Notebook reflections, there's already a notebook reflection assignment in Canvas that'll be due in a couple of days. We'll talk about that in a moment. That's worth 200 points. You're going to do those about once a week. You're going to have some reflections that you have to write about in Canvas. Your CV or resume assignment is going to be worth 100 points. Your semester by semester guide is going to be worth 100 points. Activities participation is going to be worth 100 points. There are going to be 2 opportunities for you to get points for doing things on campus. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. The reason I want you all to do that is very, very important to understand. We know that students who participate in things on campus outside of the classroom do better than students who do not. Why? I have no idea. But I know that. I can look at the data and I can say, students that go to at least 2 activities a semester and really engage in those things are more likely to have a higher GPA than students who do not. Okay? So engagement in things outside of the classroom that can help you reset your mind, help you relieve your stress, help you expand your horizons, all of those things we know help in student success. So that's why we have that in this class. Study tips assignment, which is due today, we're 25 points. Learning strategies assignment, 50 points. So we've got a total of 855 points out of this class. And as you can see, the largest percentage of those points comes from the attendance. So make sure that you attend regularly this class and every class. When you look in Canvas at the syllabus, you will, this is just a snippet, okay, but you will see everything that we're going to be doing, the days, etc. Okay, so August 23rd, today, study tips assignments due. August 23rd, first day of class meets, that's what we're talking about, okay? On the 28th, that's the last day you can drop your courses without penalty. I put those kinds of things in there as well. August the 30th, you'll see that it says in parentheses August 30. There will be a Canvas module that will say August 30. You will go into Canvas and you'll look at those materials before you come to class. I have everything in the Canvas module for the upcoming meeting by 5 p.m. on Mondays. Okay? So, you know, Monday rolls around, it's 5:30. It'd be a good idea to log into Canvas, look and see what I need you to read or watch, what videos, whatever the case may be for the upcoming class. Okay? Any questions about any of that? No? Okay. Pretty straightforward, right? All right. The notebook. These are the notebook reflections. What is the purpose of keeping a notebook for this course? Why do you think I'm having you all keep a notebook? Okay, have something physical to look back on. That's a good one. What else?
So we can put the words that we learn in your class into our own.
Okay.
So we can better
Yeah,
understand.
so to take what you're learning and put it into your own context. Very good.
Physically writing stuff down creates like a stronger memory.
It does. Yeah. The art of writing is very, very important. Writing is one of the few threads that we have through all curriculum at the University of Southern Mississippi. Writing is part of our Gen Ed core. You are required to write in your lower level laboratory courses. You are required to write when you get into your mid-level courses, and you are required to write when you do your capstone. Writing is a common thread throughout the curriculum, and it doesn't matter whether you are a chemistry, biochemistry major, polymer science major, art, dance, whatever the case may be. Writing is a common thing, and that's because we know that people who write and write fairly well, you don't have to be an excellent writer, typically do better than students who don't write, okay? So, what we're going to do, too, is get you in the habit of keeping notebooks, because the notebook is the scientist's #1 tool. You're going to learn how to keep notebooks in your classes. Research, science, all requires us to keep good, accurate notes. Okay, so we're going to start that practice here, get you into the habit. However, instead of this being about, scientific observations and calculations and that kind of thing, this is really more of a self-reflection document. So I will give you prompts. We'll look at what today's prompt is in just a moment. And you have to sit and think about that prompt and then write about it. Okay, and that'll happen about every week. okay? You'll have to do some type of self-reflection of some sort in your quote-unquote notebook. I used to require everybody to actually have a physical notebook, then COVID hit, now we just do it in Canvas, okay? So it's kind of an electronic notebook. But this also encourages metacognition. What is metacognition? Does anybody know what that word means?
When you're thinking about thinking.
Thinking about thinking. That's exactly right. And that's one of the things that students don't do. And I'll be honest with you, it's one of the things I didn't do in college. I didn't know anything about metacognition. I just thought you had to memorize a bunch of stuff and be able to replicate it on the exam, and you were good. Okay? But metacognition is very important, and we're going to talk about that in learning strategies. When you get an exam back and you look at your grade, most people think there are two outcomes. You're either smiling or you're frowning, right? Whether you're smiling or frowning is irrelevant at that point because it's over. But what happens next is very important. Do you think about your performance? If you're smiling and you go, well, I don't need to think about that, I did really well. Did you get 100? You had no room for improvement? Was there anything that caused you that you were like, well, I'm surprised I got that right? Why did you get it right? Right? So you got to think about your thinking. Metacognition is very, very important as a learning strategy for you to perform well in anything. So we're going to learn a little bit about how to do that. Okay? There are some notebook rules. Okay? So if you want all your credit, you're going to have to follow the rules, right? So you're going to receive notebook prompts in Canvas. Those will be made available to you the day of class. So at whatever time, I think it's at 9 a.m. today, that assignment will become available to you in Canvas. And you have typically 2 days to work on it. So it's not something that I want you to sit down and do quick. Read the prompt, think about it, and then think about what you're going to write. You've got a couple of days to get that into your notebook for your grade. Okay? Again, there's approximately one of these assignments per week, more or less. It's very important that you write clearly in your notebook. Your grade will depend on it. I will look at how you write. I'm not going to be like an English grammar teacher, okay? But if there's no periods, no commas, no capitalization of proper nouns, that kind of stuff, okay? You've got to get in the habit of writing clearly. So we're going to start that habit in this class, okay? Each entry requires careful thought and consideration, okay? Careful thought. You got to think critically about your response. Critical responses are never yes, no answers, even if it sounds like a yes, no question. You all will get an exam in one of your classes where they will say, is the following something? Yes. That's not a sufficient answer at the college level. Yes is the first thing, period, and then why is it yes? That's what instructors want. That's what professors want to see. Okay? It's the same thing I have here. Okay, so when you're thinking about your notebook, never think about it as, well, this is just a yes or no question. There is no such thing as just yes or no questions in academia. Okay? If it's no, why is it no? If it's yes, why is it yes? Right? We're not satisfied as learners to just know, yes, the sun rises in the east. Why does the sun rise in the east? Right? We have these curiosities. Yes, the sky is blue. Why is it blue? Deeper levels of thought, trying to understand the real reasons why things happen in the world is what science is all about. So, each of these reflections should be approximately a quarter of a typewritten page. Approximately. Okay? What does that mean? That means if I see 2 brief sentences, that's not a quarter of a page. Right? That's not something that you've taken and done critical analysis on. Okay, so somewhere around a quarter of a typewritten page. I would highly encourage you all to use your favorite word processing software, type out your stuff, use spell check, use your tools. Do not use artificial intelligence or ChatGPT. Okay? This is your stuff. Don't cheat yourself. This is your reflection on stuff. I don't care what the AI bot thinks about it. Okay? It doesn't matter a hill of beans to me. And it won't matter to you either. I promise you. And when you get to around that quarter of a typewritten page, cut and paste it into the Canvas prompt. Okay? All right. So, Let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you were supposed to do today before you came to class. Let's talk a little bit about that growth mindset video. What did y'all take from that?
Just because something seems challenging doesn't mean that, like, doing well at it won't be rewarding.
That's right. The first time I ever did anything, I stunk at it. Okay. The first time I go into the lab and we have something that we want to do for the first time we do it, it's not really all that great. I can guarantee you that. I heard several of you talk about you do music or athletics, right? The first time you ever did anything, you didn't set your records. The first time you played your instrument, you didn't make beautiful music. Okay? You have to practice, you have to prepare, right? You have to be prepared to have some failures and look at those as opportunities to grow. What did the video say about mindset? Are we born with our mindset? No, we are not. We're not born with a fixed or growth mindset. In fact, we all have growth mindsets and we all have fixed mindsets. Depends on what the situation is. Right? I come to work someday in a very upset and fixed mindset kind of mindset. And I have to physically work on myself to move myself into a growth mindset. Okay? You know, something happens, something failed, and you're like, why can't I just want to give up. I mean, that's kind of where we all start with. But somebody that has a growth mindset doesn't let that stop them. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you will become the best at everything if you have a growth mindset. What I'm saying is that you will be better than you were if you had a growth mindset. Okay? Yes, you can have a very good growth mindset and still get a C on an exam. But if you have a growth mindset, you'll take that as a learning opportunity and you will do better on the next exam. Okay? If you really listen to your growth mindset stuff. You can be a fixed mindset person, get that C on the exam, wad it up, throw it in the trash, and come back and do a C or worse next time. And the nice thing about this is you get to choose. You get to choose which mindset you want to be in. Okay? There's all kinds of psychology research on this. Carol Dweck is the queen, I guess, of growth mindset. She's popularized this over the years. And your success depends on whether or not you find yourself more in a growth mindset or in a fixed mindset, and you can change that. Anybody have anything else they want to add from the video? You all believe it? Yeah? Why do you believe it? Why does it make sense to you?
When you come at something with a positive point of view, you're more likely to think and like really put your all into something. When you're being super negative, it's really hard to get yourself in the right mindset to grow or learn or thrive in any situation.
It's true.
And a lot of the characteristics of a fixed mindset aren't really conducive to learning. Like it's, the impression I got was that you have so much tunnel vision that you're not really receptive to everything.
Yeah.
Could be right.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's all true. Anything else? Yeah.
One thing that really stuck out to me was like taking criticism as an opportunity to learn instead of taking it as you did bad and you're never going to do good at it. Take it as an opportunity to get better.
Yeah. I am the world's best receiver of criticism, and I am lying to you. But I realize that. Okay? It is okay not to take criticism well, but you can't stop with that. One of the things about being a professor is I'm in the business of failure. The funding rate for science research is like 15%. So out of every 100 proposals submitted, only 15 of them are going to get funded. So what do you think my odds are every time I submit a proposal of it getting funded to support my research? Pretty low. 15% on an exam. What letter grade do we give that? F. I'm in the business of knowing that chances are I'm going to fail. Why in the world would I do that? Because I'm passionate about what I'm doing and I know I can do it again. And I know I can take that criticism that I get from the review and I can do better. That doesn't mean I don't get upset with it. I get the criticisms from the reviewers and I sit there and I call them names. These people weren't thinking, they weren't reading, and then I go and I have a drink and I come back and I throw all that out of my mind and I start fresh and I look at it honestly. And I go, you know what, they were right, I wasn't clear there. I need to talk about that better. You know, they're right. This reaction class is really long in the tooth. Nobody's really all that interested in it anymore. Maybe I need to find a different set of reactions to propose. But it's okay to get angry. You're going to get angry. Just don't let it keep you in that fixed mindset. Get into that growth mindset. Find something, and it's going to be different for everybody. Find something that will help you transition from that fixed mindset and that reaction to a more positive growth mindset outcome. Okay? For me, it's getting upset, calling the reviewers' names behind closed doors, and going and having a bourbon. And then coming back the next day and starting fresh. Okay? That's what I do. For all of you, you're going to have to find something that works for you. Maybe it's going for a jog. Maybe it's going to the mall. Maybe it's going to watch a movie. Whatever the case may be, keep that in mind. So I want you all to think about how you can maintain a growth mindset in your studies here. I want to show you a few things in Canvas. Okay, so when you're in Canvas, in for this class, you're going to see in the modules, I will build these modules out as time goes on, right? You can always get to the syllabus here in a module. Yes, there's a little link over here on the side that says syllabus. You can also get to it there, okay? And it's just a link. But I put it in home, so this is the only place you really have to go to get anything. And so when you click on that syllabus, it'll pop up for you, and you'll see everything. Okay? So all of the information that we have there, all my contact information is there. Course objectives that we talked about today. The required text. You don't have to buy anything for this class. I'm going to provide you everything. Okay? You need internet access. You need a computer or other device, right? Again, Canvas, you need to be able to put things in Word or PDF formats. There's the grading scale. I use a typical grading scale for this class. I can honestly tell you that if you participate and do everything that you're told to get done, you will get an A in the class. I mean, it's just designed to be that way. People who have gotten less than an A in this class, stop participating. Okay? And I will prompt you, if you're not participating a few times, I will even reach out to the Student Success Center and have them contact you. But I can't want your success more than you do. Okay, that's a very important lesson in life. I want you all to be successful, but if I want you to be successful more than you do, there's nothing I can do for you. You have to want that, okay? I will help you, okay? But you do have to make that choice to do that, right? So you've probably learned what XF is in some of your stuff. That's an F grade for academic misconduct. The only way you can really do academic misconduct in this class is to cut and paste or use AI in a way that is inappropriate. What would be inappropriate? You call it your own. You find something on the internet that you just love and you're like, I can't word it any better than that for this prompt. You could take from that, quote it, and cite it, and you would not be committing academic misconduct. Okay? But if you claim that it is yours, that is academic misconduct, and that would get you an XF grade. And believe me, you don't want an XF grade on your transcript. Okay? Class behavior, pretty straightforward stuff. Make sure you look at that. I do ask that you keep all of your devices in silent mode while you're in class. I have mine on, but it should be in silent mode. So in case I get a call or something from the provost, I can step out. Okay. Again, we talked about attendance. There is going to be activities participation. There's going to be one activity that you're going to do, which is meeting with me one-on-one. I will send out dates in about a week where you can start to sign up for time slots to meet with me. These are about 10, 15-minute meetings, but they are face-to-face. Okay, so we need to find a time to come in. It's an opportunity for me to get to know you better. That's all it is, okay? And so we'll have one required one-on-one meeting during the semester. And these will be scattered out over several weeks. So you'll have plenty of opportunity to find information. The other on-campus activities that I want you to participate in are limited to academic and cultural enhancement activities, okay? You can't say, I went to the football game, went to the basketball game. Those are great things to go to, but that's not what I'm after, okay? What might count for academic or cultural activities? You can go to a dance, a play, a music performance. You can go to the American Chemical Society Student Affiliates meeting. You can go to another student organization meeting as long as it's not tied to fraternity or sorority. There are a lot of organizations on campus that are outside the Greek life system. So if you went to those types of things, that would be perfectly fine. We have university forum presentations. These are not just for the Honors College students. So they bring in prominent scientists, artists, authors to come and talk to students. You could go to one of those. That would be fine, okay? That will work. Finding support, staying well. Here's some information if you find yourself getting kind of down in the dumps about things. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I can be a friend, okay? And so if you're finding yourself having issues, staying well mentally or physically, reach out to the experts first, but if you don't feel comfortable in that and you feel like talking to me might help, I will listen and I will help refer you to the help that you might need. So don't be afraid to reach out if you have those types of things pop up over the semester. Read the academic integrity statement. Again, it's not as big a thing in this class because we don't have any high stakes exams or anything like that, so we shouldn't have issues there. Student accessibility services, if you have a record on file at SAS for extra time, please know that that doesn't apply to this class simply because we don't have any tests or quizzes in class that require you to finish within a particular amount of time. You can't really schedule anything over in student accessibility services to complete. Everything is, with the exception of what we're doing today, is in Canvas. So you have plenty of time to do it. Any questions about that? Yes, ma'am.
For the active, I forgot words, but.
Activities participation?
Yes, for around campus. If you're in band or choir, can you do that on that performance?
Meaning you performed? I'd rather you go to something that somebody else is doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since I'm in honors, if I go to a forum for honors, can it also count for you?
Yes. Forums are open to anybody. So, but honors also requires you to do those, so I will double count.
If I go to a cultural program but I am from the culture, does that count?
I'll count that.
Okay.
Anything else?
Question?
It was about the activities participation. Hers was about if she was from the culture, would it still count? Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything with that. All right. So, as promised, we have a little assignment due today for study tips. I'm going to pass this out. Notice there is a front and a back to it. Please answer as best you can. Please print your first name, print your last name, and put your ID number in there in case I can't read your name. When you are done, you're free to go. Just bring the assignment up to the front. And I'll see you all next week.